crack open the mystery of brews with Shagdog and Jammer on the Spit or Swallow Beer Review. Venture with us into the frothy depths of pilsners, ales, lagers and stouts. Dive headfirst into flavor profiles and swim through the history of brewing. But remember, it's not about the beer you drink, it's how you drink it. So ready to spit or swallow? Stay tuned for our uncensored, unfiltered and unabashedly honest reviews.
Hey, welcome to the Spit or Swallow Beer Review. I was going to start a WCW watch party because there is a channel. Of course, my damn logo disappears as always. There is a channel on there, WCW Live. Somebody's playing old WCW matches. But it doesn't say it's official, but you can't comment unless you subscribe. And so I was going to watch that. But then I'm thinking, well, if it's owned by WWE, I don't want to get blocked or anything. So let me not do it. So I had to fix the channel up, change the title. Yeah, so I do apologize. There, Heyman. Thanks for commenting. Let me see, where the hell is our logo at? Because that shit pisses me off, right? There it is. Okay. And we're zoomed out, so that doesn't help. That doesn't help the channel. Nothing. Oh, just not going right tonight. Get that out of the way. Let's drink a beer, right? Sierra Nevada Summerfest. I already reviewed this, so I'm just drinking and thinking. And, yeah. Now, I did see Ronald the Riot, a.k.a. Louisiana Beer Review, is also live. I was going to comment, because he's got like 13 viewers. I was going to comment, hey, I didn't know you were live. We're live too. And maybe I would have stole a couple viewers away. But I don't want to do that. That's too mean, right? Plus, I don't have Jammer on here with me, so it probably would have been better if it was two of us on here to do that. That probably would have been good. I'll have to get the Jammer some days. He's hard for him to do beer reviews on a Sunday. But if he ever does with a Sunday around this time, we got to go on there and steal some of Louisiana Beer Review's 13 viewers. I think that's great. What you thinking and drinking? I am drinking Sierra Nevada's Summerfest lager. I bought another 12-pack because it's damn good beer. It's expensive, almost $20, 19 something change, I'm sure, with taxes, especially here in South Carolina. But I'm sure it might be cheaper in some other states because cost of living supposedly is low in South Carolina. So, man, I don't know why my volume's down. So, yeah, I liked it. I was going to buy a case of Miller High Life or Yingling Premium. Go cheap, go big, go home. But then I was like, man, I really enjoyed this beer, and I'm going to buy another 12-pack. It's a very good American-made Czech Bohemian Pilsner, so pretty good. Yeah, it's delicious. Yeah. Yep, here's to all y'all. Delicious. Starting to warm up, though. I've been up here like 15, 20 minutes working on this video. That sucks. I should go over there just to say, hey, to my buddy on the right. I should do it just to be funny, but I don't see him on there now. Can't find a live tab. It's so hard to find shit on YouTube. It's just horrible, right? Horrible. I'm looking for live. Live. Okay, there's live. It should show him. Maybe he ended the video already. Let me check his channel. There it is. See what's going on there. Shit, it's not even showing his channel. But did he block me? I didn't even say nothing. Let's take the pauses out. Oh, there he is. Yeah, he's still alive. Let's go on there. I should ask him if he would collect, but he's out there with his buddy. I, I mean, oh, the Brooklyn Bridge accident. Yeah. I didn't see too much news about it. I haven't seen no footage about it, but um, I was joking around. It's a Mexican naval training vessel, right? Some type of sailboat, boat that has sails. Um, so I don't know. Um, I was joking around earlier saying, yeah, they're upset about the Gulf of Mexico's being called the Gulf of America. So they came up to the New York Harbor to call it Mexico Harbor. And they got themselves in a bit of a situation trying to do that, trying to conquer New York Harbor, right? When I first heard it, came on the radio when I was on my first break last night. I was like, what? I thought it was a big boat, like the Baltimore one. But then I heard it was that type of boat, and the mast hit the bridge. I think that's the only thing that hit the bridge. There wasn't much damage, but I guess I'm assuming all the injured people and two people I heard died and some injuries. I'm assuming all of them were on the boat. I'm not really sure. If you know, let me know. Hey, Mon. Martin House. I've had a couple of them. King of Kings Coke, 10% ABV. Yeah. I'm going to mute them because I got his channel on, but I should go on there and just say, hey, I didn't know you guys were live. I'm doing a live video too. And they probably blocked me though. I'm going to comment on there. How come I can't comment? It won't let me comment. What the? Oh, there it is. There we go. I'm just doing a regular comment. I said I've had a few from Martin House. Pretty good. No, I've never been on Route 66. Jammer might have. I've been on I-10. I've been on Route 10. Uh, what is that? That's not a U.S. interstate, is it? Okay. Is Route 66 a U.S. interstate? U.S. route. It's a U.S. route, not an interstate. Okay. 2,400-mile historic highway that stretches from Chicago, Illinois to Santa Monica, California. Yeah, never been there. I'd like to take that. That'd be great for the beer review if Jammer would have ever got sold everything he had and got that RV. I mean, we could actually been making money, I think. But you know, some people have different priorities in life. So, and even if we didn't make money for the channel, we could have. One of us drove the RV, one drove a car, tag along, or we could have towed the car, or whatever, and do DoorDash. Especially when DoorDash started getting big around East Coast. It's been in the West Coast, but 2018, 2019 East Coast, I think more places. Could have made money that way. We could have done beer reviews, Devil's Tower, Mount Rushmore, like you said, Route 66. We would have got our drinks on Route 66. Yeah, many places we could have been. But Jammer didn't want to take the leap. I think I'm the more gambler than Jammer is. He's not a gambler. He's a little bit more, which is wise, not taking a big crazy risk like that, like quitting your job with no plans or stuff like that. I'm a firm believer everything works out in the end, one way or the other. It might not come out smelling like roses, but it come out, at least not smelling like shit. Yeah. But we did have, like I said in one of the videos a couple of days ago, this girl I went out with like twice. I mentioned something to her about it. She's like, "Oh, I could buy an RV." She's wanting to buy a used one. I'll do it with you. Yeah, if you guys want it, I'll get an RV. But I was like, yeah, she's really weird, pothead, conspiracy theorist. Yeah, she's way not super white right wing extremist, but she is very right wing conspiracy. But I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to be traveling around. She can smoke pot I hate people that smoke pot every 30 minutes, all day long. No, it's not. That's kind of weird though, because when I was single back in those days, from 2018 until I moved from Florida, I kept meeting potheads. Yeah. Yeah, Mojave Desert. Is that in California? It might be California, right? Mojave Desert. Yeah, Sierra Nevada's mountains and transverse ranges in the southwestern United States. Yeah. 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 I wouldn't mind going there. What's the other place there? It's over there. Death Valley. That'd be a great place to go to. Even going to the mountains where the party that was cannibals. Was that in the Sierra Nevadas? I can't remember where that was. That'd be a great place to visit. I want to see if they. No, they didn't respond to me. No, they didn't respond. That's good. I didn't steal any of their viewers. I could Googleize it. I got to Googleize it. And when you Googleize it, the main title and a little bit of information doesn't even tell you where it's at. You got to click into it. I'm like, okay, I'm not going that deep. That's what she said. Or I told her. She said, last guy gave me 8 inches. I said, baby, I'll give you that when I'm good and ready. Yeah. I don't know about you. Hey, man, I don't know. I know you watched us for a while. I don't know if you ever watched Louisiana Beer Reviews. I don't mind Louisiana Beer Reviews when he's by himself, but when he's with his friend there or doing the live streams, I just not interested. They don't talk about anything except for what they're drinking, which is great. I mean, but once you had a couple sips, you should be able to. All right, what else you want to talk about instead of going on for 50 minutes about what you're drinking? I'll go ahead and Googleize it. Mojave Desert. I'm supposed to Googleize it spiritual. All right, Mojave Desert. I really wasn't big on the West Coast or deserts. I knew it was out west, but yeah, it's in California, Nevada. Some of it stretches into Arizona, the very west border of Arizona, California, Nevada, where they meet, and a little piece of it stretches into southwest part of Utah, just a little bit, but it's mostly in California. Yeah, the Mojave Desert. Mojave, isn't that a drink? I don't know. I'm sure you can take a spirit walk or spirit whatever on out there in the Mojave Desert. I'm sure right now it's 84 degrees. I don't know what part of Mojave Desert. 84 degrees and 62 is low. That's the forecast. That's not too bad. 84 degrees. That's and probably dry. That's a nice temperature there. And I'm sure in the summer, depending on what part of Mojave, because it's probably got different elevations and stuff. I'm sure it gets fucking hot there. Some places. Yeah, and just the friend there, he's not funny. Yeah. At first, when I first saw them two together, I was like, oh, they're trying to be like us. But then I was like, wait, they're not like us. You know, me and Jammer. Yeah. Now, did like the guy at first because he was like complaining a lot. He kind of reminded me of myself, like very negative and but then he was like over negative. I was like, well, I'm not that negative. I don't know what they're drinking because they're. Where'd it go? Did I close it? I closed it. Nobody responded to me, so they might have responded to me. I turned the volume down. Yeah, great beer, man. I tell you what, this is a great summer beer by far. One of my favorite summer pilsners, at least. And I don't have the liquor store I went to. Not too many summer beers. I should have went to the other place. Did I go? No, I didn't go to the other place. I went to the place that sells more Georgia craft beer a couple weeks ago, and I do have a couple tropical, not IPAs, but some type of tropical themed beers. You know, got like two of them, like more like Hawaiian tropical or whatever. Oh, Jabber's back. I think he got back last Saturday or somewhere around there. He caught the Pope sickness, so he hasn't been on. But he might be back on maybe this week on Wednesday or something. I probably should be posting your guys' comments. I'm sorry about that. I'm a little tired. Yeah. Jammer likes Guns N' Roses. Yeah, I like some. I like fucking Appetite for Destruction. Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. There's some good songs on there, but I'd rather have just raw rock. I don't need fucking pianos and bluesiness. And that was just way too much. They overkilled it. They should have came out one. Maybe take the top 8 songs, put 4 on one album, 4 on the other, and waited for the other album about 1 year. You know, put the one album out, go on tour, put the other one out. But I think they were just trying to really maximize their cash flow at that time, and because Axl was thinking, I'm going to kick these motherfuckers out of the band here within a year or two, or some shit, or I'm going to make them quit, one or the other. Well, they were the kick in the ass that the '80s needed, but it didn't help them. It didn't help any of the 80s band at all. Because even after that, Appetite for Destruction, a lot of bands were still trying to be more the glam, you know, they weren't, and some of the even older bands like Rat, Motley Crue, they came out with some tougher songs per se. Like on Reach for the Sky, Rat had a song called City to City, which is more kind of Guns N' Roses style, but it wasn't a hit. Wasn't released as a single, I don't think. Their tour was called City to City Tour, but of course, Motley Crue was it '89? They came out with Dr. Feelgood, but it just, and it was a good album, but it wasn't like Appetite for Destruction, of course. So the only one that came close after Guns N' Roses to their, well, even they had some hair bandish songs on that album, but the only total album that came close was two of their albums, which Skid Row, their first album, Untitled, and then 1991's Slave to the Grind. The only thing that were hair bands that came close to, not quite close, but close to Guns N' Roses sound, you know. And then, yeah, all the 80s bands just faltered once grunge hit. It was something new needed, you know. Yeah. Yeah, some of them were dead. Not Guns N' Roses, but shit. The drummer, I mean, he was really fucked up. He was the first one to be fucked up. Yeah, some grunge. I guess it was just a point. I don't know what it was with the grunge. I mean, some of the music, it was different. I think it was just something new. Something new was needed, and that's just the new thing that came about. You know, I was more of a in the '90s. I like Seven Mary Three. I did like Pearl Jam. Um, when you Nirvana, Stone Temple Pilots, Alice in Chains. I like some of their songs, but I never got into any of them. Nirvana, probably a little bit. I did buy that Naked Baby album, whatever it's called, and I had their next album too before Kurt Cobain, you know, offed himself, or that lady did it. But I like the Gin Blossoms, Seven Mary Three, Goo Goo Dolls. I was never into Goo Goo Dolls because they're out, you know, they're kind of punk rockish before the big album came out in '95. A Boy Named Goo. I did like the Boy Named Goo album, and then the other next one that came out was their biggest hit album, a bigger hit album. I like some of the songs on there, but they lost a little bit of their edge on that album. So yeah, Never Mind. Yeah, that's what it was. That's why I didn't remember it. I Never Mind. But yeah, Gin Blossoms I like. Seven Mary Three has to be my favorite band from the '90s. I think Jammer. I know he likes Seven Mary Three's one album, but I probably think his. I don't even know if they actually were a full '90s band, but he liked Big Head Todd and the Monsters. They were never really big, but I guess they had one or two hits. I guess I like their name. And I listen to '90s music. I mean, a lot of people that like glam rock or whatever from the '80s, they're like, oh, fucking grunge. I mean, I like some grunge songs and '90s music, kind of contemporary alternative rock, you know, like Gin Blossoms or what the hell? Man, I can't remember all their damn names. Damn, my memory sucks. Anyhow, you know the thing. Yeah, Cumbersome was Seven Mary Three's biggest hit. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Big Head Todd. Them. What's really crazy? Big Head Todd's biggest hit, and Seven Mary Three's biggest hit were both cumbersome, although Big Head Todd called theirs bittersweet. All right, something like that. Yeah. I think Big Head Todd actually, life is cumbersome, life is life is some. So then, but Seven Mary Three came out, and they're like, oh shit, now we got to change it to something else. Or vice versa. I don't know if that's Italian, if I said it right. I don't know. You tell me, freaky freaks. Life is beautiful. Oh, fuck it. All right, I'm going to close. I did close that video already. Okay. Yeah, Ronald the Riot. I think Jammer would have a better time if, because one time we did a lot. He met Ronald the Riot a couple times. Once in Florida, then we both went to see him in New Orleans. And then we did a live stream one time, it was a live stream, I think, or we recorded it, I think. Did a live recording, I don't know, but I upset Ronald the Riot, I think, because I was doing a Impractical Jokers thing, and he's like, what the fuck's going on? Yeah. Did you see your hands? Then you were correct. I don't know. I still got the damn. I was going to change that. That's the last beer I did. Oh, well, that's fine. Company Porter. Well, I need another beer. I think I'm going to continue the same video. I'll be right back with a beer. Chat amongst yourselves. Yeah, I'm a little Italian. Oh. One more beer and it's been time for months old. Life is bitter. Life is bittersweet. Whew. Yeah, fresh and drink. Life is bitter. Yeah, I remember Guns N' Roses. First single was supposedly the first single was nobody remembers it was their first single, but It Ain't Easy was their first single, but it didn't hit big. I don't even know if they had a video for it. But Welcome to the Jungle was the first time people really started seeing them. I never knew It's So Easy, is what it was called, was their biggest hit. Or not biggest hit, their first single. I was like, really? I never heard this shit. And when Welcome to the Jungle came out, and I saw them in a magazine, Circus Magazine or something. It's like, who the fuck are these clowns? And then I heard that first song. I was like, this shit sucks. Yeah. Then Welcome to the Jungle never really rubbed off on me until a while. And then Sweet Child of Mine was the one that really, okay, I like this. Oh. And then when I find somebody had the CD, or not CD, cassette, It's So Easy, Night Train, My Michelle, Mr. Brownstone, all those songs. I was like, wow, this isn't too bad. Yeah. Now, I'll never put that, even though a lot of people say that's one of the best rock albums of the 80s. I still like Out of the Cellar by Rat. But, I mean, probably in due fairness, yeah, they're both good albums. I don't know. I would say overall Rat's better, but I think Guns N' Roses probably have better songs on theirs, beat them per better songs, but I think overall the Cellar's better. I don't know. That's just my own opinion. It's so easy, easy when everybody's trying to please me, baby. Okay. It's so easy, nothing seems to please me. She's been dancing with Mr. Brownstone. Skid Row. Oh, yeah, they might hurt too many people's feelings. Oh. Yep. Yeah, great beer, great times, great music. Man, I still listen to rock, 80s rock. That's my favorite music. I mean, my favorite band was Rat. And then, I even like Poison. That's probably my second favorite band. Skid Row, Dokken. I like Kiss, but only thing with Kiss, the 80s version of Kiss, they only had like 2 or 3 songs I like on every album. Maybe 1 or 2 of the albums might have been more than that, but uh, who else? Are like Tesla. There's a lot of 80s bands I love. Fucking like some of their songs, 2, 3, 4 songs by them, maybe even 5. But the rest of their albums are just shitty, to me. I mean, some people might like them, but yeah, Cinderella, I like some of their songs, but I never really liked Cinderella overall. The Misfits, I never listened to the Misfits. That's with Glenn Danzig's original band. I never listened to them. I've heard of them. I don't think I might have to take a gander at listening to them someday. This is nice and cold. The Misfits. I was always hair metal, hair glam, hair band. Back then, we didn't call them hair bands; they were just called like glam metal, or some people call it pop metal, stuff like that. Yeah. What about this? What about the same with Poison? What about them? I didn't get that part. Hey, man. I was listening to Poison earlier. I was like, man, they had some good filler songs too, especially on their first 2 albums. The third album I didn't like as much as the first 2 albums, but it was more refined, kind of more mature a little bit, which kind of hurt them a little bit too at the same time. But Jammer is a more bigger fan of the '70s than me. I like Creedence Clearwater Revival, the Eagles, of course, Kiss. But Jammer's like wide, like country, rock, pop rock, Dreamweaver, shit like that. He's all over the place. Now I do like some '70s music, like easy listening music. I mean, you can sit there and like fucking relax at music. I don't know the name of that song, but or the words. Yeah. Give or take them. Poison, yeah. I was listening earlier. I was like, ALEXA, play me some Poison. And I said the song I Want Action. Played that one. Then it played one more. It played Poison plus other similar artists. But it did play one more Poison song before she went on to other artists, which is kind of funny, the type of artist she played after Poison. But the second song by Poison was Bad to Be Good, which is off their second album. a filler song, but I was like, really good song. Bad to be good. I think Jammer might like that one if he ever listens to it. And then there's another one on the first album called Number One Bad Boy. I was like, wow, they're two good songs and two different albums. I got Number One Bad Boy and Bad to Be Good. Yeah, some Southern rock. Yeah, I do like. Of course, they ran a little bit into the '80s. 38 Special, but you got Leonard Skinner from the '70s. Trying to a little bit of Southern rock. Might be a little bit of arena rock too, though. But yeah. The Brothers. I lost my picture. Okay, I'm back. It says I switched to Wi-Fi for some reason. Oh well. Hopefully, I'm still on. I really gotta get this beard down. I gotta be to bed in like 20 minutes. I can't call in sick because I called in sick last Monday. Ozark Mountain Boys. Who sang Mississippi Queen? Was that the Ozark Mountain Boys? AC/DC. Only thing I hate about AC/DC, I mean, they got great songs, no doubt, but they're formulated. You know, it's kind of all their songs are similar a little bit. You know, but it works. They just, yeah, everything works. Yeah. But for AC/DC, I got to say, probably Back in Black is probably their best album to me. Even for rock in the '70s, a lot. I mean, I didn't hear about Van Halen at all in the '70s because I guess just the people I hung around. My parents were in the country a little bit. My mother and my stepfather at the time. Van Halen. I mean, apparently they were really big in the '70s. I never heard of Van Halen until I got to the fucking '80s, I think. But their first couple albums came out in the '70s, and yeah, a pretty good shit. I didn't hear about them. I mean, I probably heard a couple of their songs, probably "Dance the Night Away" and those type of songs. But first time I recall hearing about Van Halen, I think I saw Unchained, a video for Unchained once, and I was like, wow, this is probably early '80s, before 1984 came out. I was like, wow, this fucking song rocks. I was probably like fucking 10 or 11. I didn't say fucking rocks probably, but I was like, wow, this is different, And then, of course, 1984 album came out. My cousin bought that. And she played the whole thing. And I was like, oh, because I saw Jump. And then she had the whole album. I heard the rest of the songs before the videos came out and everything. And I thought, well, that's pretty good. Hot for Teacher, I like. On 1984, Panama, good songs. But yeah, some of their old shit, Running with the Devil, I like. I can't think of any off the top of my head right now, but yeah, you know the thing. Flirting with Disaster. Who sang that? That was that Leonard Skinner or was that somebody else? Dun, 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 I'm flirting with disaster. Yeah. But I'm more of a. I notice as I'm getting older, though, some hard rock music annoys me a little bit if it's too loud. I must be getting old, which is kind of weird. Like I was playing my own Rat. I was like Lexa. I can't say her name too loud. Turn down the volume. It's like, what the hell? Now, Rat's last album of that era, which was 1990's Detonator, was it? I thought when it came out, I heard a couple of the songs like, wow, this is going to be a big hit. This one's going to be, I thought there would be 3 or 4 big hits on there, and there wasn't. Of course, probably due to the record company and producers and stuff like whoever decides. The first single, of course, is Loving You is a Dirty Job. Okay. The next one was Shame, Shame, Shame. I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, I know it's got some classic rock sound to it or something, but I would rather have One Step Away, Giving Yourself Away, or something like Can't Wait on Love or Top Secret should have been one of those other singles, the second single. But that album, if you listen to it, you're like, wow, if this came out in 1988, this would have been a fucking super hit. Came out about 2 years too late. Googleize it to go, guys. Oh, got to go, guys. Awesome vid. All right, later. Hey, man, I'm going to Googleize that shit. Flirting with Disaster. I forget who sings that one. Who sang Flirting with Disaster?
Flirting with Disaster.
Molly Hatchet. Oh, yeah. Molly freaking Hatchet. Molly fucking Hatchet. Now, Molly Hatchet wasn't a real person, but who was the other girl that had to kill her parents with a hatchet? Fuck, I can't remember. You had a lot. Molly Hatchet. You had Lillian Axe. And there was one more band. I think it was based on the name of a real person. What other bands similar to the names of Molly Hatchet and Lillian Axe? Googleizing it. Maybe Molly Hatchet's the one that killed her parents. What girl killed her parents with an axe? Lizzie Borden. Lizzie Borden is the one that killed her parents with an axe, and that's another band. Yeah, Molly Hatchet, Lizzie Borden, and whatever hell the other band I said earlier. Lillian Axe. Yeah, Molly Hatchet. You're right. Hey, man, thanks for joining, watching, subscribing, comment, and liking. Don't forget to click that bell. Apparently, Heyman has clicked the bell because he usually comes on. Yeah, one of the ones that comes on when we're live. Thanks for watching. Freaky Freaks, thanks for joining in. Freaky Freaks going to get the camera someday and join in. He can drink some Italian beer. I'm sure Jammer will probably say, yeah, I had that beer when I was there. Yeah. Lazy day drinking Sunday. Yeah. Not really a lazy day because for me it's it's a work day. Go back. They're offering overtime for the next 2 weeks. I'm like, they asked me if I want to stay over today. I'm like, fuck no. I didn't say it that way, but I'm like, I stay over every day already. Get these other fucks to stay over. Because I stay over because, hey, can you do this? Can you imagine? Did I click on that? Wait, I must have clicked on that earlier. Okay. What did it say, though? Imagine living in the 70s. From what everyone said to me, it was another world. Shit, 70s, 80s, even as an adult. Now, I lived in the 80s as a child into my teenage. I was 18 years old. 1989, I turned 18. Now, I think the 80s would have been a lot better as an adult, but I'm glad I wasn't an adult in the 80s with the cocaine and that sort of stuff back then. Yeah. But Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, I used to go to this like under 18 dance thing, and on the way home, it stayed open till midnight. So me and my friends walk home. We had to go by this bar on the way home, and man, there's hot bitches out in the bar, fucking ladies with leopard print, fucking tight ass pants and high heels and hair up like this. And one time I said something, it was actually a girl with leopard print pants. I was like, "Hey, baby, you wanna do this?" And she's like, "Wait." She said something like, "Yeah, you better call me. Wait a few years, I'll give you my number." I'm like, "How about you give it to me now?" Something like that. Good times. Yeah, even another time, me and my friends, we went. I moved to Pennsylvania from upstate New York, but I went back one time and we're hanging around downtown, and we got to get back up to where we live, which was probably about a mile and a half, 2 miles away. We're down by this bar, and we're like walking. I'm like, fuck this. I'm hitchhiking. Car comes by. I see a hot girl in the car or a lady in the car. I like put my thumb out. She pulls over. They're like, we're not getting no car. She pulls over. I was like, she's like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going up to so and so area. And she goes, oh, I'm going that way. I'm stopping at a bar up that way. I'm like, oh, okay. And my friends are all like, as I'm getting in the car, like, wait. They all hop in too. So I'm talking to the lady, and she's like, and it's not even close to where I live. She lived in Saratoga Springs, New York, which is probably a couple hours drive away. I don't know what the hell she's doing there, but she's like, oh yeah, I'm just visiting. I'm from up there. I'm a health teacher at the high school there or something like that. And I'm trying to hit on her, and I should have told her to step on the gas as my friends were running up to the car. So I probably could have hit that. I was probably about 16 at the time. Yeah, the good old days. But the 70s too, probably the 70s, even more free sex, all that kind of stuff. But I think in the 80s, the girls were probably more refined because at least you had more widespread porn and videotapes, porn stores, um, you know, more education about certain things. But either or, I think 70s, 60s, 70s, or 80s as an adult probably was a fun time. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was great in the 90s. I had a good time in the 90s as a young adult. But like I said, with the grunge era, some of those girls were just start kind of like some of the girls today. That's where the whole I'm a victim and life is miserable, and yeah, they weren't lively and girly. Even the ugly ones in the 80s wanted to be girly. Ugly ones in the 90s wanted to be like, I mean, not saying ugly, but regular looking. They're down on themselves, which brought me down. I was in the army. My last year in the army, my roommate had this very homely girl. Oh god, she was in another unit. She was in one of the companies. I was in the brigade headquarters. She was in one of the companies. He had her over there in the room all the time. We turned our beds into bunks. I went ahead and slept on the top bunk, and he wanted to make the room bigger. So we had more room to party, whatever. So we bunked it up. I'd wake up and I'd go to bed on a work night, about 10:30, 11. I'd wake up after about an hour. The bunk bed's rocking. And I'm like, what the fuck? He's got that ugly bitch below me banging her. But I stayed quiet. But I wasn't turned on or anything at all. Now, if she was hot, I probably would have been peeking down. But I was like, man, how can you be banging that ugly thing? She was skinny. I mean, she wasn't fat at least. But just her face, her demeanor. She's like, redhead. Not regular red hair, but like a dark red, like she dyed it or something. Not like red, like these girls dye their hair red now, but like a auburn type hair color. But then again, in hindsight, I didn't have no sex that whole year, and I still wasn't uh, attracted to her. It's like, wow, maybe I could ask her if I could join in or something. Never crossed my mind. Now there was one girl in our unit. She partied in our room sometimes, but she was just fucking a flake. She was cute, that one, but she was a total flake from like Massachusetts or something. Always saying wicked. She was that one was touched to the head too. They're all touched to the head, I think. There's some man that ruins these girls. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed a comment there. The drugs. Yeah. Well, that's true. Yeah, that was crazy when I was in the army. And when I went overseas. I was stationed in Central America for 2 years, and I came back. And I was like, "What the fuck?" Because Bill Clinton's the one that did that "Don't Ask, Don't Tell." That was like right before or right after I went to Central America. And when I came back and I got to Fort Hood, Texas, there was gay people. I didn't know this one dude was gay in my unit. Nothing against gay people, but I'm just saying, 1996, 95, he was in supply. He's one. You go down there, you get your gas mask on. He's make sure it fits. And then he hung around with my roommate. We played Dungeons and Dragons and shit. I didn't think of nothing. My roommate just bought a PlayStation 1. It just came out in 95, I think. They're, played it all the time. One time I got out of the shower. I didn't feel like getting dressed real quick. I wanted to play this PlayStation game. I had a towel wrapped around me playing PlayStation. He comes in the room, his buddy, the gay guy. He's like, damn, my last name, we'll just say it's Shag Dog. He said, you got a nice back. You do extra push-ups besides doing PT, I'm like, what? And he goes, your back's defined pretty well. And I'm like, okay, thanks. And I said, yeah, I do wide arm push-ups, mostly. And he leaves the room later, and so what the hell is that about? And my roommate goes, oh, you didn't know he's gay? I'm like, no, he's not. Because, it didn't come off. He's a half white, half black. Seemed normal. Acted straight. He goes, no, he's really gay. I think he was admiring your back. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's like, I was like, what the fuck country did I come back to? Don't ask, don't tell. But what I was getting point with him, this other guy in my unit, the crazy girl from Massachusetts, they got an apartment together off base. And the gay guy had his boyfriend living with him too. He got a boyfriend. We called it, that's when The Real World came out on MTV, kind of maybe a year or two before that, I think. But that apartment they had parties and shit. It was The Real World. You go over there, hey, we're having a party. Okay, get over there. You're like, where's Miles at? And they're like, oh, I think they're in the room. And then you hear them moaning and screaming. Like, what the fuck? They're having sex, and yeah, it was crazy. We call it The Real World apartment. Not that I'm aware of. Nobody in my unit was really huge or anything, but I'm sure it probably happened. When I used to work in corrections, not that I knew anybody did it, but there was cases where people were tested positive with it, got fired, stuff like that, even in corrections, yeah. So I'm sure it happened in the military back in the 90s, just like every other place, wrestling, baseball, whatever. Yeah, I wish I was a little bit smart, not using steroids or anything, but I used to For some reason, I never was a nutrition expert and nobody ever told me. But I always concentrated more on eating carbs. I'm like, carbs give you energy. So I never really thought about protein back then, my early 20s, late teens, early 20s. Although I did gain a lot of weight my last year in the Army, I finally put on some pounds. I mean, I put on some pounds my first year in the Army. I weighed 130 when I went in, 5'8", 130. I came out of basic training weighing 145, so I gained 15 pounds. And then, probably in my first year, I weighed 140, 155, 165, 160, 65. I think my last year, I went from 165 to 175. Yeah. But, yeah, I wish I just knew more about protein. I probably, if I was smarter back in those days, I probably would have went to the gym more. But we did PT every day, but I probably would have went to the gym, work out, But hindsight's 2020, right? Yeah. I got a beer belly on me right now. I'm bloated all the time. I'm not sure if that's just my diet, the beer. Could be the golden years of bodybuilding. Yeah, shit. I don't know. Bodybuilders still use that shit because some bodybuilders are actually still pretty. You're like, wow, they got to be doing something. Because if you look at the early days of bodybuilding back in like the 50s, they were toned up. Yeah, it had a little mass, but nothing big. They didn't have lats this fucking wide or stuff like that, or shoulders this fucking high up to their fucking forehead. Oh no, I'm good. I'm done. I just do curls. I might drink one more. What time is it? Yeah, 12. I could drink one more. What do you think? I probably should start a new video. I'm going to start a new video. We'll do 30 minutes, and I'll go to bed. We'll be back, Freaky Freaks, in about 2 minutes. Thanks for joining. Shag Dog, Spitter Swallow Beer Review. Freaky Freaks is with us. Heyman was with us earlier. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and we'll see you in a few minutes. It's our Lazy Sunday Drink Fest.